People tell me that they have a very bad horoscope. They have a very negative horoscope. What do they do? What should they do? Right. See, we should understand clearly. This I have told in many of my previous videos also. We should understand clearly what is the purpose of astrology and other things. Whatever we do. In medicine, you study about disease. Why you study about disease? To spread the disease? No, to cure the disease. The same thing goes in astrology also. These all things you already know, I believe, because I have discussed about it in many of my videos. But still, people don't get it. So clearly, I am putting it out. First of all, if someone thinks that they have a bad horoscope, it is what they think. Are they seasoned astrologers? Are they experts? If they are not seasoned astrologers and if they are not experts, then apparently they should not make conclusions. Only learning few bits about engineering from Wikipedia and books, you do not go out to make a bridge. Learning a few things on internet and few things from medical books, you do not go out to do a surgery. Then why you do it with astrology? So one should first of all get consulted from a good astrologer. And in this scenario, someone told me that if I am not that someone, I cannot comment over this, right? This point should be very clear. Now, as you're discussing why you study medicine, to eradicate the disease. The same thing goes in astrology also. Why we learn about fortune, misfortune, good combinations, bad combinations? We do it for three things: to predict, to resolve, to remedy. Right? So, first of all, there is no horoscope which is 100% bad. It is a very simple principle in astrology that if all the planets are weak, it is an animal or a tree birth, it is not a human birth. So all planets cannot be weak because all weak planets are animal or tree birth, not a human birth. Let's understand the point. Completely negative horoscope. See, human life is a karma yoni. Animal life, tree life is a bhoga yoni. Bhoga yoni, the beings are there only to enjoy the result of their karmas. They cannot do any karma, right? Animals, trees cannot do independent karmas as such. Right? So if you have very negative horoscope, which is there only to suffer, then you are probably an animal or a tree. In a human horoscope, this does not happen. If you see one such horoscope, it needs rectification at the first place. But you see, astrologers don't know how to identify this is an animal horoscope, a tree horoscope, or a human horoscope. What do I do in that? So there is no entirely negative horoscope or all the planets are bad. It cannot happen. In any horoscope, there are good factors and there are bad factors. There can be more good factors, less. There can be less good factors, right? But your prime purpose in astrology is to look at the good factor and strengthen, enhance the good factor. Look at the bad factor, reduce the bad factor by remedy and by proper planning. You see, astrology, there is mathematical astrology, spherical astronomy, there is predictive astrology. So mathematical astrology, spherical astronomy is called Ganit. Then there is Samhita, mundane astrology comes into that. Then there is Jatak, Hora. In the Jatak comes personal astrology, private horoscopes, Muhurta, Prashna, and matchmaking, etc. Why there is Muhurta? As I always say, remedies are two types, right? Spiritual remedy, astrological remedy, signification based remedy. What is astrological remedy? Vastu is an astrological remedy. Muhurta is an astrological remedy. Matchmaking is an astrological remedy, right? So if someone have bad marriage combination, that's why matchmaking is there. If someone have good marriage combination, then their marital life is good. They can blindly marry anyone. Their marital life is good. They have good combinations related to marriage. Any person they will get married to, horoscopes will automatically match. Only when you have bad combinations of marriage, you are supposed to come across those people whose horoscopes don't match with you. It is when you have to be careful and employ matchmaking, right? That's the point. Vastu, for that example, right? Homes bring prosperity to you. If you have a good horoscope, you will already live in a well designed property. Only if you have a bad horoscope, you can live in a property which will have flaws. That's where Vastu comes into play, so that you decisively take Vastu principles into consideration and avoid living in such homes. And even if you start living, then you do changes accordingly. And the same thing is related to Muhurta also. If there are bad combinations related to profession, one is likely to suffer in profession. That is where Muhurta comes into play, and you join job and take major financial decisions, professional decisions in a good Muhurta, right? That's why these things are there. So even if one have a very bad horoscope or a very weak horoscope, then they should employ matchmaking, muhurta, vastu, and all of these things. That's why remedies are there. Otherwise, what is the purpose of the remedy? But the basic point is that the labeling of the horoscope as completely negative or completely bad is not something that a wise person should do. And if you do not know astrology completely, this is not your cup of tea. I believe to keep it true, right? Just by giving false hope to someone in a 1 hour consultation or in one video that you will do very good in life, where we know in reality that so far the person have not done good, and in future also the person will not do good, will not make any change. I say you lie that the next dasha is very good, which is starting after 2 years and will go for 20 years, but that does not happen. What does this wrong hope give you? It will only bring shame to astrology. People will say, oh, I consulted astrologer, no prediction came true, etc., etc. Do we practice something to bring shame to it? We don't. What a bad hope will do. If you tell an ugly person that they are beautiful, they can be happy for a moment, but like things do not change for them as it does for beautiful people, right? This is a very, this is a very new concept which have came nowadays, but this is the reason behind trouble everywhere. Wrong hopes. What happens with wrong hopes? Nothing changes in reality, but the expectation of people change, and then they suffer more, right? So any science, anything like astrology, any shastra, right? Science is not the right word. Replace it with shastra wherever I have said it in the video. Is the path for truth, and specifically Vedic shastras particularly highlight truth. Saints have also told that speaking truth is the highest virtue in Kali Yuga, and I choose to follow the virtue, to be very honest with you. Right? Satyam Buryat Priyam Buryat Na Buryat Asatyam Priyam. One should say truth. One should say it in a good manner, but one should never say lie, even if it is good. This is what Shastras opine. This is what I follow. So, what is our purpose? You analyze the horoscope. You see which planets are bad, which times are bad, and when the bad time is going to come, and when the result of the bad planet is going to come, you become careful. You apply remedies beforehand. In the dasha antardasha, while the result is fructifying, you remain careful and you make good decisions. So health is bad, you take care of health. Wealth is bad, you take wealth decisions in good muhurta. Marriage is bad, you do matchmaking, you get married in good muhurta. Profession is bad, you take professional decisions in good muhurta. Anything is bad, fourth house is bad, you live in a good vastu property, enter home in a good muhurta. This is why it is made. So there is always a way. As I always say, in astrology, you study about good fortune and bad fortune to properly tell the person what result is going to come. And then if the result is bad, by using remedies, by using muhurta and all of these remedial measures, one should change it. This point is clear in astrology, and this point should be clearly understood as well. There is one more concept, right? Horoscopes one should not read. How is this concept? Why is this concept? How to use this concept? This needs to be understood. See, any video or any statement like this, horoscopes you should not read. If it's coming from my side, The videos I'm not making for myself, right? This video I'm making for others. What I mean to say that these horoscopes can be complex. Say a planet is retrograde and combust, debilitated and retrograde. You see such questions many people ask. This needs complexity. This is complex. This needs experience, right? So videos are made for others. When I say such horoscopes should not be seen or should not be read, it is for the people who are watching the videos, right? So if you are someone who is just watching the video, like not enrolled in the course, not official student, you probably don't know how to deal with this, right? So this is a piece of advice that in such horoscopes, standard conclusions will not work. You need an in-depth knowledge. So don't read such horoscopes. This is one point. Secondarily, sometimes this point is told because you know what happens? Some horoscopes are locked, right? If the Arud in the Prashna is in 6 at 12 house from the ascendant, the horoscope is locked, which means to say the events will not be clearly seen in the horoscope. In that scenario, what one needs to do, one have to employ the Prashna. Don't read the horoscope, always employ the Prashna. For such horoscopes, employment of Prashna is very important. Or in other ways, you say for such horoscopes, Prarabdha karma is 40%, Kriyaman karma is 60%. Generally, for people, Prarabdha karma is 80%, Kriyaman karma is 20%. But the setup keeps on changing. So these are two concepts into it, right? First, it is told not to read such horoscope because it is complex and amateur people should not read it until and unless they have formally learned the subject and also have good amount of experience, hands-on experience of 5-6 years, right? Then they know 5-6 years what happen. You give predictions that come true. How you know how the predictions come true, which principle work, which principle don't work. You know that. That is one thing. Secondarily, in some cases, it is that you should not see the natal chart, but you should see the prashna, or you should see natal chart in a very in-depth manner. There are many cases where the ascendant do not work. You learn, you see my videos, I will always tell you, you see, this concept stronger between sun, moon, and lagna needs to be seen. Sometimes some divisional chart is to be taken as the prime chart, right? These are advanced topics. If you don't know that this is a horoscope where this is a type of a horoscope where the horoscope should not be read from birth ascendant, but from some other reference point. If you read it from the birth ascendant, your predictions will go incorrect, right? In those cases, also the horoscope should not be read. And there is also a third case scenario. Sometimes what happens, you see, there are some people who comes in front of you. They are very much like, oh no, no, you please do something for me. You are my God, you are my everything. I am only dependent in you, etc., etc. You get lured by their words. You give them best advice and everything. Back behind, they talk bad about you. They talk bad about the science. These things they do. Such negative tendencies are there. There is a person who will tell you, oh, this is happening with me. So much bad is happening with me, etc., etc. This they are saying just to get your sympathy. But at some other place where four people are talking good about you, they will go and say, oh, this person is a very bad person. Oh, you don't know this person. What is this? This is a bad tendency, bad natured person. Sometimes there are people who will consult astrologer just for fun, will not follow the advice of the astrologer. For them, it is a fun, but you are 100% putting your concentration in the horoscope, right? Sometimes person are alone. They just want to talk to someone. They are just, someone have gone through breakup, someone is feeling lonely. They just want to talk to the astrologer, right? But you are doing consultation, you are 100% in the horoscope, but the other person is just looking to talk to you. Why you have done all the hard work? Then they just want to talk. Or someone is not going to listen to your advice. It is just an entertainment for them to take, consultation from different astrologers and just enjoy. Then why you are putting your 100% into the horoscope? They are eventually not going to value it. And then there is some type of people who will talk good in your front but talk bad behind you. What is the purpose of helping such people? Right? So these horoscopes, these combinations also come into the same category. Why you give your 100% when the other person is not going to value? Based on these 2-3 scenarios, it is generally told that such horoscopes should not be seen. But understand the advice is for new people only. Sometimes the D1 chart is not working and sometimes the person is ungrateful. These things should be very clearly understood because anything that is being told, right? People may have a very light approach with respect to anything, but you understand someone who is practicing something do not have light approach towards the subject, right? Others may have it. That is basic human understanding, that I believe everyone should have, but common sense is not very common.